First reading. A reading from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verses 1 onwards. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away, a time to tear, and a time to sue, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace. What gain has the worker from his toil? I have seen the business that God has given to the children of man to be busy with. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Also, He has put eternity into man's heart, yet so that he cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end. Second reading. A reading from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 9, verses 18 onwards. Now it happened that as Jesus was praying alone, the disciples were with him, and he asked them, "Who do the crowds say that I am?" And they answered, "John the Baptist, but others say Elijah, and others that one of the prophets of old has risen." Then he said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" And Peter answered, "The Christ of God." And he strictly charged and commanded them to tell this to no one, saying, "The Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected by the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised." This is the word of the Lord. The Gospel reading today continues the theme and question that was raised in the passage of yesterday. The big difference, however, is that yesterday it was raised by Herod. Today, it is Jesus himself who asks his disciples. Their initial responses are exactly similar, and these were the public opinions about Jesus. So Jesus questions the disciples to know whether they have identified him as he truly is. Though Peter's response was satisfactory, it comes with a caveat. Jesus is the Messiah, but not in the sense that Peter and others had expected. Therefore, Jesus clarifies the concept with the teaching on his future suffering, lest they get carried away by the notion of a glorious Messiah. This suffering is necessary, as Jesus clarifies in Luke chapter 24, verses 26 onwards.